Hi y'all, today I'm going to show you how to make this gluten-free peach cobbler with a hot water crust. It's got a very unusual method that creates this crackly top that is crazy good. It is so simple to make, so let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. Okay, we're starting with the peaches, and I have peeled and sliced my peaches, and I'll leave a link for the video for my peach pie that shows how easy it is to peel and slice peaches. And I'm just adding to that some lemon zest and lemon juice from one whole lemon. And that's all we're going to put in the peaches. It's kind of an unusual recipe. It's not kind of, it is an unusual recipe. I got it from Food 52, and then of course I made it gluten-free. And I also changed a few things, like they don't peel their peaches and they also don't slice them. They just cut them up into like little chunks. And I don't know about you, but I can't stand peach peels, so I have to peel them whenever I make anything with them. And like I said, I have a really easy way of doing that. Just check out my peach pie video and you'll see how simple it is to do. So now we're just going to add these to our baking dish. This is a baking dish that's a little bit smaller than a 9 by 13. It might be like a 7 by 11 or something. Any of those will work just fine. So just set aside the peaches now and we'll work on the topping. So the topping is kind of like a cake, and then it has this hot water crust, which is phenomenal. So we're going to start with one stick, which is 113 grams of softened butter. And to that, we're going to add 1.5 cups or 300 grams of granulated sugar. And we'll just beat these together until they're light and fluffy and creamed well. Just a couple of minutes. And by the way, you can ignore those tomatoes in the background. They are just trying to ripen in the sun. They're from my garden. They're not at all a part of this recipe. Thank God. Okay, so now that this has well combined and is light and fluffy, we can add in the flour. This is my or Kim's gluten-free all-purpose flour blend. You should be able to use a store-bought blend just fine. Also 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, we'll start mixing this on low, and I like to pulse mine a little bit because these beater blades with the scrapers tend to want to throw everything right out of the bowl. So I just pulse it until it kind of comes together, and then I put it on low until it's like this sandy kind of texture, and this is exactly what we're looking for. Now we can slowly add in the milk. And we're going to do this with the mixer running on low because you want to make sure that everything combines well before you turn it up. Now we can bump the speed up to about medium and let it go for 1 to 2 minutes or until it is nice and soft, silky smooth, light and fluffy, just like this. It's really a beautiful batter. And just dollop this all over the top of the peaches. And then take an offset spatula and just even it out all over, covering those peaches completely. And make sure to smooth it out so it's nice and level. So now we get to put the sugar topping on, which is really arguably the best part of this whole thing. And it's just another 1/2 cup of sugar, which is 100 grams. And make sure you get every surface area covered in that sugar. That's what's going to create that crunchy, crackly crust. So now I've got some hot, basically boiling water. This is a 1/2 cup or 120 mils, and I am pouring it slowly over the sugar. It will melt somewhat on contact, but it's going to, of course, melt even more in the oven. So we're going to put this into a 350F oven for 70 to 80 minutes, or until golden brown on top and it looks all shiny, crunchy, crusty, and absolutely perfect. Check this out, y'all. Look at how cool this looks, and you can see the bubbling fruit underneath and this crust. It's almost like glass when you touch it. So wait for it to cool for 30 minutes and then we can dig in. Look at the crackly crust on top, and then there's this soft cake and the peaches, and the cake soaks up a little of that peach juice. It's like summer in a bowl. Enjoy.